Well, hey, babe, it's Jamie. That's me here. Welcome back to my channel, honey. Let's go ahead and have us a chat regarding love and hip hop ATL. So let's talk about it. All right, let's start off with young baby Tate. Young baby Tate is looking to relocate to LA. She says that she has a few $1 million deals on the table, honey, and she's hoping to sign with a label, right? So then Brittany, I believe her name is Brittany B, asked her about Guap, like what's going on with Guap 3000. And I believe young baby Tate says that he's still back there on the mattress that she left him on. What did she say? She said that he has no headboard and his mattress is on the floor. All of the ladies are laughing and chuckling, but I kind of feel like this. Don't be trying to clown him now. Don't clown him now about that not having no headboard and his mattress being on the ground when you was fine with that before. You was over there fucking him on the mattress that was on the floor, girl. Excuse me. And then now that he decided that he doesn't want you versus you not wanting him, now you want to sit up there and clown this boy. Girl, good night, goodbye. Okay, but that's that. They're not doing anything. So let's move on. Spice and Karlie chit chat. Karlie stops by. She tells her about the trip. She talks about how her daughter had her boyfriend there. And y'all know Karlie can't stand her daughter's boyfriend. But Spice tells her, girl, you need to fall back just a little bit and let your daughter make her own mistakes. She'll learn if he's indeed not the guy for her. She'll learn that he's not the guy. Okay, you've made a ton of mistakes, honey. So you just need to chill out and let her make her own. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Spice says that her career is taking off, but her personal life ain't. And when she says personal, she's really talking about her and her boo. Okay. He wants her to cover up. He doesn't want her to be gyrating and dancing all over people while she's performing. But of course, she's not going to do that. Right? There's a difference between Grace and Spice. He gets Grace when she gets on stage, her fans get Spice. It is what it is. Okay. You're trying to change her. She ain't open to changing. And I don't blame her for not wanting to change, right? So Rini is talking about how she's going to be going on tour with Kevin Gates. She's excited about that. So what she's going to do is actually come up with some new music. She's going to do a listening party. She wants to introduce some new music when she ends up going on tour. So that's something that she's working on. And her good friend is trying to convince her to have her mom come out to the listening party. She's not sold on that idea, but she's going to let that individual handle everything, right? And we'll see how that's going to play out. Erica, still in the hospital, honey. Still in the hospital. Safaree done finally came back from ATL, and he gets a call from Scrappy to let him know, like, listen, your daughter over here at our house, you need to come get her. Scrappy says not Scrappy, but Safaree says while he was away, Erica filed for a divorce, honey. So he got to come home to the divorce as well as him getting his mother child. Okay. Scrappy says that he and Bambi they weren't really talking, is what he said, when everything happened with Safaree and Erica and Bambi having to go get the baby. At first, he and Bambi weren't really talking, but now that they have his Safaree's child, it's kind of forced them to, kind of talk to each other a bit more. Safaree says that when Erica filed for a divorce, it was nothing for him to talk about. It's nothing for them to talk about now that she filed for a divorce. And I said, what? This woman got your motherfucking child and about to have another one by you. And you mean to tell me that there's nothing to talk about because you feel a way about her filing for a divorce? I don't think so. There's plenty to talk about at this point, just because you mad and you brought it on yourself. No, sir. Go in there and talk to that lady. Okay, so Scrappy is giving him some good advice and telling him that he should really go there and check up on Erica and check on their child so that it can kind of put her mind at ease or whatnot and help her as she prepares to deliver this baby and the stress on the baby so it can ease the stress that's on the baby. But, Safaree over there acting, like Safaree do, being selfish, thinking about himself and trying to avoid conflict, not thinking about the fact that the more you try to avoid the conflict, the more it's going to show up for you. So he's being very lame for that. So he's trying not to go and be around, but Bambi had to enter the conversation to let Safaree know just how serious this is. Bambi says that she's not trying to get in their business or anything, but him not wearing his ring is what sent Erica over the edge. And Safaree said, girl, ain't none of us been wearing our rings. And Safaree admits that he nor Bambi been wearing their rings either. But then Bambi lets him know, like, yeah, ain't none of us been wearing our rings, but also ain't none of us but you been out here at the club gyrating and dancing all on women and feeling on asses and stuff, okay? So we may not have been wearing our rings, but we also weren't disrespectful to our marriage either. So what else is going on? What else you got up your sleeve, Safaree? What else happened? So she's just talking to him, and of course he's gonna eventually get by to the hospital to see Erica. But Erica said he didn't really come like that. He just came to say that he came. He wasn't really coming to check up on her and stuff. So Scrappy and Mama D. So we see what Mama D stopped by Scrappy's house to talk to him about what Sierra told her. Sierra told her that Bambi was looking to get a divorce. She's already consulted with the divorce attorney and everything. But the whole time, Scrappy is feeling away, and he's like, girl, you only know half of the story, and you're not even getting the story from the sources. You're getting the story from other individuals, right? And you got the names mixed up. You're not talking about Scrappy and Bambi. You're talking about Safaree and Erica, because you're not talking about us. So he clearly is not privy to the fact that Bambi has been going around talking to attorneys, trying to, you know, sort some things out in case she needs to go that direction. So he's definitely feeling away. And Mama D tries to pull a Judy with the tears. And he was telling her, girl, I'm not going to do this with you. I'm not going to do this with you, girl. I don't have time to be sitting up here watching you cry and hearing the tears. I'm not doing the tears today, Mama. And I was screaming because they were playing the violin music while Mama D was trying to force a tear to come out her eyes. And she going to tell him, no, I'm not trying to cry, but I'm trying to be sincere. I want you to hear what it is that I'm saying. That was hilarious. Scrappy ends up getting upset though. He walks off. Okay, he leaves the conversation, and he's talking about how everybody trying to make him look bad and stuff, and he just doesn't want to be a part of the conversation anymore. And Mama D tells him that Bambi is trying to get his ass. Mama D tells him that Bambi trying to get your ass. Okay, and you gonna learn the same way you learned when it came down to Diamond from Crime Mob. Girl, Mama D knows she is a trip, okay? She don't like nobody being out here trying to leave her son for dead. So she was trying to give him a heads up before it happened. Hilarious. So Spice, she's in New York City promoting her album. She's hitting a few locations, as well as Wendy Williams. That's another location that she's going to hit. But when she's out there answering questions, right, Wendy asked her if she's single, or at least if she's married, and Spice says that she's single. She didn't say, I'm seeing somebody, I got a situation I got going on. She didn't say any of that. She just said, I'm single. And she stressed that. So she knows Justin's going to see it, and he's going to feel a way about it later, which he did, because when he stopped by the house to see her, first of all, her kids obviously love him because they call him Papa. And I'm like, I don't know what that's about, but I guess he has a great relationship, even though y'all haven't really been together that long. Okay, girl. He took down all of the pictures that he had of her at the house. So when she stopped by the house before she went to New York, she saw he took down all their pictures. She felt the way about that. She said, you want a trip on something? So first of all, he brings up Wendy. When she brought up the fact that, yo, you took my pictures down out your house, he brings up Wendy. She said, don't even bring up Wendy, because you stressing about me claiming you in public, and you not even trying to claim me in private. And I said, go ahead, Spice. Let him know what's up, because I do feel like he used the Wendy situation to divert from the fact that, or deflect from the fact that you took our pictures down, and this was prior to the New York trip. So let's talk about that first, sir. So of course they kind of, you know, she started yelling, getting in the, you know, yelling at him, really not really getting in an argument, but she really was yelling at him. And he ends up just getting up, leaving and going out the door, because he really didn't want to talk about it. And I just feel like that's unfair. We got to talk about your issues too. I can't stand a person that's one-sided, and it's like, let's just talk about what you did. But we're not talking about what you did to cause this person to react or respond that way. Okay, we have to talk about the actions, then we'll get to the reactions, right? Another thing I did not like was when they told the kids to go upstairs. And I'm like, why tell the children to go upstairs if you're going to yell all the way up there anyway, Spice? Why have the children go upstairs if you're going to be yelling to the top of your lungs and to the top of the stairs, girl? I did not like that. But let's move on. Let's get to Rini, because Rini ends up having this listening party that her mom ends up showing up to. And she tells her mom that she doesn't want to argue, only for her to end up arguing with her mom anyway. She says she doesn't want things to continue how they've been. Rini brings up the fact that she didn't like that her mom was questioning her about drugs with somebody else instead of coming to her and asking her about it. Now, when her mama tells her that's not what I did, Rini is not believing her mom. She rather believe what somebody else told her versus believing her mom. Now, obviously, her mom has done some things to her to make her believe that that's how she operates, right? So, I mean, I guess it was kind of warranted if she did not believe her mom, but I just didn't like the whole scene between the both of them, because I still felt like there was a way she could have talked to her mom. She was being hella disrespectful, in my opinion, and I just didn't like that. I didn't like how she was coming at her mom, because regardless of how you may feel about your mama and you going off, it never stops you from reaching out to your mama, asking your mama to hold down your kids while you out here traveling for 8 months and shit. Okay, so obviously you feel okay with her doing that, right? So I just didn't like the whole argument that she had with her mom, and then the way that she did it in front of everybody. I didn't like that. I said Rini doesn't make any sense. She says that her mom is making up lies on her, but you also said that your mama saw a post that was made on social media of somebody else saying that you do drugs. But then you flip it when you get in a confessional and say that your mama was out here lying on you. Your mama wasn't lying on you. Okay, your mama didn't lie and say that you did drugs. Your mama was questioning something of somebody else saying that you did drugs. Okay, now I understand if you feel like she should have just came to you and asked you about it. She asked you for everything else. I understand that point, but when you saying something different in the confessional, it got me looking at you sideways. Okay, they end up getting an argument. It was embarrassment for both of them. Her mom walks out. Rini goes in the bathroom and cries, and then eventually she goes outside to talk to her mom, and she doesn't like that her mom doesn't take accountability for her actions when she was younger. Rini says, I understand that I was a terrible child. I didn't do right by you, but I also want you to understand, as I just said earlier, we got to talk about the actions that caused the reaction, right? You called the police on me. We got to talk about some of the things that you did to me when I was a kid. And when I bring that up to you, to your face, you try to act like you don't remember any of that. So now at this point with this conversation outside, I kind of understood a little bit more of what she was saying, right? It was like her mom wasn't trying to acknowledge anything that she has done and tried to make it seem as though Rini has always been the problem, right? So then her mom finally tells her, I do remember. And they kind of had a bonding moment where Rini just hugged on her mama and cried on her mom, but I didn't see her mom shed any tears about that. But you know, it doesn't mean that she wasn't hurt. I just didn't see a whole lot of emotion, but she definitely admitted, like, I do remember that. I can't recall if her mom said that she was sorry. I think she did say she was sorry, and they hugged it out. And that's what that was. So hopefully they're at a place where they can both move forward. I doubt it. I doubt it because I feel like Rini is holding on to a lot of stuff that her mama obviously has been sitting up here trying to forget. Let's move on. Erica. Erica is home now. She's home now. She gets to see her baby and stuff. Safaree is still out here being whack as fuck. Because again, you're back here in ATL, but somebody else is at the house watching your child, and you're not at home with your child, waiting for your wife to get home. Matter of fact, your wife had to drive herself from the hospital instead of you being the one to drive her from the hospital, okay? She says that he only came up there for about 30 minutes and then he pieced the hell out, child. She talks about her daughter's godmom. She talks with her about Safaree, and she's getting emotional because at this point she feels like the things that he's doing, he is doing intentionally to her. All right. Now, at first she didn't want to believe it, but now she's like, I believe you, mother. When you told me that you would put yourself before me, I got it. You're right. You have. Okay, so that's where they are, but it's really weird between Erica and Safaree because you can't really tell what's for a storyline versus what's not, considering the fact that they're all on social media dancing all up on each other and stuff. I feel like they still together. I think she could have been mad at him, but I don't think that divorce is for real. I don't see Erica divorcing him now. Maybe later on down the line, but I'm not seeing the divorce being finalized anytime soon. But we shall see. Safaree decides to go and see an attorney because he wants to talk about custody with his daughter. But I noticed when he was talking, he primarily kept mentioning his daughter and wasn't necessarily mentioning his son. You mean your children? You want custody for your children? It seemed like it was more of a conversation around his daughter, and then he decides to tear up when he thinks about his daughter. He want to sit up there and think about his daughter and start crying and stuff, and how she's an innocent child and she's sweet and she's a happy baby, and I don't want her to be all this other shit that I didn't care anything about because you was not thinking about that child at all when you was out here doing what you were doing. You was not thinking about that child's mama when you was out here doing what you were doing. So, baby, shut up. Now he want to sit up here and cry because he was out here starting and bopping. Baby, I ain't got time for Safaree. But that's all that I got. I will say the past few episodes have been giving more than it did in the beginning part of the season. The season wasn't giving us anything because y'all wanted to focus on Black Lives Matter, and I understand, but we ready to see some other stuff, okay? Give us some other entertainment outside of that, and then y'all focus the show so much on Yandy and mendeecees. They're not ATL, okay? So bring us in ATL, people with real problems that's going on. Y'all bringing out Yandy and mendeecees, stretching out this Black Lives Matter storyline and then rehashing the old storyline. We don't have time. When you got Bambi and you got Scrappy with some fresh new issues. Like, girl, let's focus on that. We don't like buy, okay? But anywho, like I said, the season was pretty good for the most part. I'm sorry, the episode was pretty good for the most part. You all leave your thoughts and comments down below. That's all I got. I'm Jamithatsme. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.